something that you're aware of that not everyone else is aware of is that towards the middle/end of last year, I was unemployed. Hello and welcome to the Empowered Era, brought to you by the Elizabethan Era. I'm your host, Elizabeth Osandu. Some of y'all know me as Lizzie, some of y'all know me as Liz, and I'm here today with Deborah. Every show, I'm going to ask my guests to ask me a question. This is where we kind of do a little flip because I believe that all of y'all are supposed to be hosts in your own world. Y'all are main characters in your own world.
Stop.
And that's why you're brought on here. So, hit me. What is the question you have for me?
I think my question is, how have you seen God show up in the last few months? Rather, the whole last year.
Wow.
Give us-
How has God shown up for me in the last few months? It has been pivotal. So, something that you're aware of that not everyone else is aware of is that towards the middle/end of last year, I was unemployed. What I thought would have been a hit ended up being a blessing. And what felt like this is my source turned into this is a resource.
Wow.
And God showed himself as my source. God sustained me. God is sustaining me. And God has opened up like the heaven gates and just overflowed me and fulfilled me with other things. I think I'm really big on elevating in all the categories of my life. So if 10 things are categories and there are 9 that I need to focus on, if one is off, my attention goes to that one.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the enemy telling me to focus in that one area that may be troubled. But God told me in this season, the last couple months, was I want you to focus on the 9. And I want you to remember all of the good things that are happening in your life. And I feel like with that, there were so many open door opportunities. I've taken so many trips. I have gone to so many places. I have moved and transitioned into this beautiful space where I'm living alone and I'm just having so much time with God. I have had so many brand deals. I've always been in the influencing content creation space, and I've had the gifted content. I've had the paid content, but balancing it alongside something else versus balancing it on your own is very different. I was able to really pour into it and I saw the fruits of my labor. Yesterday, actually, so the beginning of January, I got to start the year off with my first brand deal.
Wow.
This was like a fully paid and compensated brand deal. And it was a really nice experience because I'm someone that's big on experiences. If you guys have been following me, you know that I love to travel. I love a good experience.
Even, she's not even here. This is AI.
This one is AI.
This is AI. She's not even really here.
And so they invited me to essentially attend and showcase the place, the restaurants, everything. And I get to bring a +1 and everything's covered and compensated. And then I also got paid on it. So in my mind, it's like, okay, who's a friend that I haven't caught up with that I want to have a good one-on-one with? Now I get to take my friend out on a date and we get to just vibe. Things I would already naturally do as far as recording the food spots, recording just, get a video of me walking down the street. Like, okay, now we're doing that, showing up as ourselves. And that's something that I've told God, like, I want to get paid to be myself. Like, some way, shape, or form, I've been saying it for quite some time, that I want to get paid to be myself. And God is showing out that you can do that and more. You can do that and something else. And so just in that one area, God has shown me so much favor.
We are going to make God our provider. And we're
Amen.
saying, we're falling out of love with provision and we're making him our provider.
Yes.
And he's opening the flood, like all the way up, babe, like all the way up.
All the way.
Because
he's the only one that can receive the
he's
glory.
the only one. She said, I want to be paid to be myself. I'm encouraged. I really am.
Thank you.
Like,
so you guys will definitely be seeing so much more of that. But in the midst of all of that, every episode, we're going to do this thing called Passing the Mic.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you all turn into a semi-host.
Okay.
And so I asked you initially before you came on to have a question in mind that you have for the next guest.
Yeah.
And that next guest is going to answer it on their episode. So as you pass the mic, D, what's your question for the next guest?
My question for the next guest is, how are you making your mark as a Christian in business, in the kingdom of God, and on social media?
I like
think
that.
about.
We'll definitely tap into the next
excited to
episode to
listen.
hear how they respond.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for coming onto my show. How can the people stay in contact with you? What are your socials?
Honestly, Instagram.
Okay.
Follow me on Instagram. As I'm planning this wedding, I'm going to
Yes.
be very, very, very transparent. And I think this is just another phase of my life that I'm just committing to God. And so, yeah, follow me.
I love that. Well, thank you once again,
Love you,
my
babe.
fiance,
I
my
love
D,
you, babe.
my spiritual prayer warrior.
Love you, girl.
For coming on the show and helping others empower themselves by listening and tuning into these raw and very authentic conversations that we have almost on a weekly.
Yeah.
Almost on a
literally.
daily.
Whenever we see each other.
Every time we see each other
Yeah.
is this raw, even more.
Yeah.
So thank you again, and I hope you guys really enjoy tuning in. Until next time, bye loves.